Hello guys, welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. A very common problem, a very nasty problem, problem that we're going to tackle in this video is polish in plastic and rubber kind of trim. More porous plastic trim is what I wanted to cover today because I've got the problem here. So the lovely Stealth Bomber, when I first got this car, like, it was all polish in the kind of like in every single edge and little telltale signs. If you look in the kind of jets there, you can I'm probably out of focus, but you can see it's full up with kind of polish. I'll have to scrape all that out with a cocktail stick eventually. But polish has also got into the porous plastic kind of trim here. I'm just going to set the camera down, so forgive all the wiggling. And we'll just get into focus here. Let's get nice and zoomed in. Nice plan view. So you can see all that polish there, look. That's kind of like little bit where it's okay. Let's get this right into focus. Right, switching to manual. Right, we're in manual, and hopefully now, just play around with the focus. Right, there's the good focus. Now what I'm going to do, a lot of time the polish anchors in to the surface of the plastic, and really what you're looking to find is is this plastic porous, or is it kind of like solid surface, so the polish isn't actually embedded so much. If it's not fully porous, then rubbing on this with something tends to be the best way to get the polish out. And no simple, well, very simple tool, a rubber, a white one. Use a white one if you've got one, you know, a clear rubber, and just rub on the dried polish and see what happens. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm just going to make sure I'm in camera shot. Yeah, so you can see. I'm going to do it on a little area as well. Okay. Go down there. Should have microfiber cloth ready, shouldn't I? Now you can see, hopefully on that camera shot, that actually kind of works. But what I'm worried about is how much rubber are you whacking into the surface of this. Now, on this particular material, I don't think it's a problem. I think the rubber is just stripping off the polish on the surface. But there's other forms of plastic where you can go at it with a rubber and it's too porous and it just doesn't work and it doesn't get it out. So, first rule, use a rubber and just do a little test spot and see if it works. If it does work, like it is in this particular video, I can just work my way all along the rubber and just see what polish I can literally rub off the surface. Okay, so let me get a microfiber cloth. Not the cleanest cloth in the world, but never mind. And let me just come back. So here you can see, let's get the focus. Here you can see there where I've used the rubber. That's where I've stopped rubbering. I haven't rubbed there. And then all the way along here, see, that bit needs a little bit of treatment, doesn't it? I'm just looking at it on the camera. So all the way across here, it's out, and then you can see where I've stopped rubbering there, sorry. And then where I stop, you can suddenly see the polish. So it's kind of working, but on camera, it's looking, I'm just pausing because I'm looking on camera and it's looking worse on camera. Looks pretty good in real life. But the problem with this rubbering thing is it's bloody time consuming. Especially when I've got to go around every bit of trim. Right, let me just bring the camera up. So I've got to go around the whole trim, rubbing it down, like, and I've got it going all the way around the car, all the way around the back. Go back into autofocus and bring the camera back up here. So the reality is I could go around my car with this or a magic eraser that someone else suggested in the comments, and it will pull whatever's on the surface off, but it doesn't get it perfect. And I think the best solution is, okay, take this rubber, go around the car, spend about 5 minutes rubbing it to get any of the noticeable white areas off. Then after that, I think you still need to dress it to get a consistent finish. And what I would do is take, on black trim anyway, is take the good old solution finish, tape up, and use the solution finish, and it will mask that whiteness of any polish that's left there. But if you get most of the polish off of the surface, it will mask it so well that it will pretty much solve the problem. We know this lasts about 6 or 7 months. When it does eventually, if you put 2 coats on, you'll probably get a year out of it. When it does eventually fade, the polish probably won't be so noticeable, or it might be completely gone, and you just redress it again in a year's time and you'll be fine. And that's the best solution to this particular problem. You're going to get varying results, like I say, of very heavily porous plastic. Sometimes the rubber will not be that effective at all, in which case I think you're best off just going in with a solution finish. You can try dabbing it with mineral spirits. The polish, once all the carrier's gone and the polish is left behind, it is just literally abrasive powder clumped together and dried, and it can go like cement, like kind of rock, like plaster of Paris almost. So by putting mineral spirits in it, if it hasn't fully dried, if it's 99% dry, you might be able to soften it back down again. But if it's in the really porous plastics, you're going to struggle. So get yourself some of this, and we'll do a live demo of why this is so effective now and why it's so nice. So all we do here really, I've got a cloth, I've got a little sponge applicator, and I should glove up, but I'm going to be turning the camera on and off, so I won't be gloving up this time. But glove up when you're using solution finish, because it's black, it's heavily pigmented. Tape up to protect your paintwork. You can just wipe over the paint with a cloth with the solution finish, but I think taping is probably a slightly better way to go if you want to do it properly. Depends on time really, doesn't it? Everything takes time. So there we go. Shake the hell out of your solution finish, especially if it's been sitting around for a while. I've already got it on my fingers. Perhaps use a bigger, I'm using a little cut piece of sponge, perhaps use something a bit bigger so you don't get it all over your fingers. Put a little bit, you don't need to use a lot, just so that is wet with some product. Okay, let's just see if there's enough there. Yeah, that's great. Just rub it in. There's a bit of polish in there. So I haven't erasered this bit, so it will show you that it will still look good. Work it in so every bit has got some of the product on it. You can give it a buff over the microfiber tear. The good thing about this is you know it's really going to blacken. You can see it. So I just want that finish to be good. I'm not going to wipe off any excess because I've got a good consistent finish there, and it's going to soak into that. Will dry, and that's going to be it. Just got a rag here. Let's just get right into that corner. That's it, done. And this, if you look at this, guys, just gives a really good finish, especially after it's still got a bit of shine to it at the moment because it's wet. But when it dries, here's what I did yesterday. You can see there's no product here where there's a little bit of polish staining, and here's where I've treated it. It's now dried. That trim looks really good, and it will stay like that for months and months and months and months. So here I have problems with staining, and here I have treated plastic, and that's the best way to solve this Can you use other, whoa, it's a bit bright, other trim restorers? Well, I did the Bright Max Trim Max. You could use that in exactly the same way. I think you want a pigmented one when you're going over this black stuff to bring the colour back. I'm standing here staring at it and it just looks incredible. Look, the camera picked that up. Look at the difference. So they work. That's it. It's going to sound a bit like a. It's going to sound like a bit like a solution finish commercial. God, the exposure on this camera is all over the shop. Let's get out of the light. So it's a good product. It's an expensive product, but it's a must-have product for me. For professionals, definitely, but even for guys at home, because most cars have got plastic trim on them, and if it's getting on, this will restore the colour, fix problems with polish, just make the trims look really, really new. So there we go. Thanks for watching, guys. That's it. You could coat them as well. I wouldn't want to coat that with this much polish in it. I'd rather use solution finish to make it look black, and a coating will probably last longer, but no, I want to use solution finish for the reasons shown here. You see the results. Okay, thanks for watching.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I?